Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We are still on chapter 1, exercise 3J. I extracted this question because it is very necessary for a first year student to know how to calculate their marks based on the weight and the percentage that the student has obtained in a specific assessment. Then we are required in this question, first of all, here at the bottom, to say what mark must the student obtain in the fifth assessment in order to obtain an overall mark of 70%. Now there's only one assessment left, which is the fifth assessment, so we need to know how much percentage the student must get, or mark must the student get, in order for him or her to get an overall 70% pass for this subject at the end of this academic year. So we know that assessment number 5 is the one that is missing, which is not yet written. So there's still a mark, and the student wants to at least get 70% overall for this subject. Then he wants to know how much percentage must he get, or mark must he get for this exam. Now it says a certain subject offered at the CPUT, or CPT, not CPUT, at the CPT has 5 assessments for the year. Now it says the table below shows certain student results for the first assessments and the relative weight of each of the 5 assessments. Then now we are given assessment number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the total. Then these are the results of the student, or student results: 52%, 65 second assessment, 49 third, 78 fourth assessment. Assessment number 5 is still outstanding, but the student's target is to obtain 70% in overall of all the 5 assessments, so that you can get 70% overall for the subject. Then it says the weight is 10% and the weight is 20%, 20, and the fifth assessment, which is still the missing assessment, likely to be the final assessment, has a weight of 30%, a bigger weight at least. And the total of the weight obviously will have to be 100%, but the student wants to get a total of 70 out of the 100 so that he can get 70%. So now this is what is in front of us. Then how do we calculate the progress, which is called the progress? We say the results times by the weight, results times by the weight, results times by the weight, and we don't have the results here, meaning it will be x times by 30, meaning it will be 30x. Then this will be equal to 70, because we need the overall mark for the student to be 70. Then now let us do the calculations and see how far do we go. We have 52%, which is 0.52 times by 10. This will give us a progress of 5.2. Then after we say the second assessment, the student performance was 65% out of the weight of 20%, meaning the progress will be 13 out of 20. This is 5.2 out of 10, which is 52%. Then after we say the student got 0.49% out of the weight of 20 for the third assessment, of which the progress mark is 9.8. Then after fourth assessment, the student got at least an excellent mark, 0.78 times by the weight of 20%, then the student progress will be 5.6. The fifth assessment, it will be 30x, because we are looking for x and this x is not yet solved, and the total mark overall the student wants to obtain is 70. So now we need to know how much percentage must the student obtain in the fifth assessment. So now we need to add all these ones, then after we put them across the equal sign. So we have to say 5.2 plus 13 plus 9.8 plus 15.6 equals, then we will have 43.6 plus 30x is equal to 70. Then we take the like items on the same side, then we'll be left with 30x here equals 70 minus 43.6. Then we say deduct 70 here. How much do we get? We get now our answer, just because of space, our S answer being 30x equals 26.4. Then 30 will be divided by 30. Whatever we do on the left, we do it on the right. Then our x will be equal to, divide by 30 here, we get to 0.88 times by 100, which becomes 88%. That means the student must obtain 88% in the fifth assessment in order for the student to get an overall of 70. Now let us go and substitute here this 88% and see if we really get an overall of 70. Now I'm just doing this for verification and for broader understanding. Times by 30, this gives us 26.4. That means 26.4 will be here, and this is the mark the student must get, or the progress the student must get. 26.4 plus 15.6 plus 9.8 plus 13 plus 5.2. This gives us an overall of 70. So I just wanted to verify that the overall will give us the 70%. Remember, the assessment out of 100%, therefore now, and that will be 70 over 100, which will be 70%. With that, guys, it's been wonderful. A very important question to master, popular in the assessments. So also master this one. There's also another exercise that is also in the notes. I don't know in which page that exercise is, but also do have a look at that one. I think now I've seen it is on page 11. Page 11 of your handout. It is number H. Page 11, number H will be the best revision for you, where it says 2 high school classes wrote the same test. So with that, guys, thank you very much.